If you're a fan of sugar like I am, then you're a fan of anything sweets, chocolate, liquoring, anything that has sugar is very addicting. As you may know, 40 to 60% of our sugar increase has increased since 1983. The cause of sugar can cause cancer and glycosiroids and ovarian cancer as well. The sugar that we take in also causes diabetes, which has a negative impact on our body because most of the sugar that we take in is caused by chemicals and most of it is actually fructose and it's not real sugar. Did you know that an increase in sugar can also cause blood clots and heart disease? This is why, because our sugar pertains into our proteins and it stays there. A Harvard study shows that an increase of 32% of sugar can have the risk of heart disease in over 40% of adults. Did you know that 17% of our diets consist of sugar in adults and 14% in young adults? Most sugar that we eat also contains fructose, which causes weight gain. It actually disforms our body and makes us get what we call muffin tops, which is the fat that we produce in our body and we keep in our body. So for this reason, we should cut down our sugar intake. Sugar also causes glucose level to spike, an Atkins study shows. This is because sugar stays in our system more because of the sugar that we're intaking. Instead of getting natural sugar from the ground or from plants like people used to do back then, we're taking our sugar from chemicals, which is causing this release and it's causing us to store it more and keep it more in 20% of our ovaries to attach than it was before. It also causes an increase in obesity. 30% of why young adults are gaining weight is actually because of sugar intake. Did you know if you just drink one sugary drink a day, like soda or Sprite or pop, you already went above the recommended amount of what doctors recommend for sugar. So just drinking one sugary drink a day, like soda, already puts you way over the limit of what you're supposed to take in, causing you to gain weight and causing you to become more obese. In that case, it also causes diabetes, like we said before. It causes high glucose. Sugar is also attached to tooth decay. So a lot of the reasons why we have cavities and a lot of people have to have fillers and metallic implants in their teeth is because our increase in sugar has risen to a high. So tooth decay is also one of the biggest parts of sugar intake. Did you know that your immune system is also affected? That bacteria and yeast feeds off of sugar. So every time you have an infection, like a yeast infection or a throat infection or an ear infection, actually taking in sugar makes that protein stick to it and it makes the infection grow rapidly and stay rapidly, and in that way it increases it. Also, high sugar diets and high fructose can lead to chromium deficiency. So having chromium deficiency leads to body deformation, which is again why we get muffin tops and why we get fat stored into our legs and our thighs for women, and of course for men you get breasts, which is not natural. Sugar accelerates aging because it attaches to protein, which causes aging. So a lot of the reasons why women or men are getting older with faster in our generation and why we don't look as prolonged as we did before is because of our sugar intake. So sugar sticks to our protein and it sticks to our cells, and it actually makes aging a faster process. So of course sugar can be good and we do need sugar to function as humans. There is type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, one lacks sugar and one needs sugar. But for the most part, sugar accelerates aging, so therefore you need to be careful with that. Also, a Harvard study does show that sugar increases stress because it makes us get into fight or flight mode. So when we take in sugar, we automatically get a rush, a caffeine rush as we say, and it makes us jittery, it makes us feel anxious, it makes us feel self-conscious, and this is because sugar has similar effects to caffeine, which also causes this. So caffeine also makes you go into fight or flight mode, and this is just because sugar for the most part causes us to have a rush and to have an acceleration in our body, which isn't always a good thing. So back to the blood clots and heart disease. Did you know that 37% of adults are at risk of heart disease more than in 1983 because of our sugar intake? So because we're intaking so much sugar, we're getting a lot of blood clots in our vein. We're also getting many heart problems, and we're getting a risk of heart disease. So to summarize this, because because we've been taking in so much sugar, this is causing a negative effect on society, and it's causing us to have so many health defects, like heart disease, glucose levels, deformation in our body, and it's best to cut down sugar from your diet. Thank you.